In any event, let's get going now, folks, and we will begin like we will every day here on Menzoid Mornings with something that's really grinding my gears. Time now for the Menzoid monologue. Well, there's still so much unknown about the whys and hows and wherefores of the Boston Marathon bombing, from the person or persons who orchestrated this atrocity to the motivation for the bombing in the first place. It's still too early to solve this dark riddle, but then again, there are a multitude of Cassandras and Kreskins out there who already know all the answers. Don't believe me? Hey, folks, just tap into the world of social media. You know, there's nothing like breaking news or a profound tragedy to bring out the vulgar and idiotic side of this particular medium. Indeed, before the Boston Marathon corpses were even cold, social media's conspiracy theorists were out in full force. The theory du jour, how this bombing was an inside job carried out by the U.S. federal government or the United Nations. Oh, but wait, said other Boston Marathon truthers. Let's not jump to conclusions here. And then what spewed forth was all the other crap that is the bailiwick of late-night conspiracy talk radio. You know, main culprits were the Illuminati or the royal family or the Masons or the Zionists or those mysterious men in black. Suddenly, it was deja vu all over again in terms of the idiots who comprise the so-called 9/11 truther movement, a collection of obsessive losers and mental cases who simply can't come to grips with the fact that on September 11, 2001, 4 jets were hijacked by 19 al-Qaeda terrorists and flown into buildings, killing almost 3,000 innocent people. Indeed, within hours of the Boston Marathon terrorism, there was already a Boston Marathon conspiracy website up and running. Now, folks, I have no idea what nonsense is to be found on this site. I won't even give it the courtesy of a mouse click. But alas, the online rumor mill is even worse these days than when 9/11 occurred due to the emergence of the Twitterverse. You see, back in the day, some loon who thought the lunar landing was faked or believed himself to be the reincarnation of Napoleon, he was simply reduced to standing on a street corner talking to himself. Today, that nutter emerges onto the info highway where he suddenly has an audience. And in addition to the garden variety idiocy to be found here, some tweets were simply vulgar for an altogether different set of reasons, such as, a company actually exploiting the massacre as a means of moving the merchandise. Case in point, Toronto-based blogger Robin Urbach recently noted in a column entitled Twitter for Idiots that some brainless brand managers thought the Boston Marathon terrorism would actually make for a whiz-bang platform to promote their product lines. Oh yeah, so Urbach points to the popular recipe website Epicurious. You see, folks, Epicurious took to Twitter and posted the following marketing message. Boston, our hearts are with you. Here's a bowl of breakfast energy we could all use to start today. A link to a recipe was then provided, and then in the department of throwing gasoline on a raging fire, Epicurious followed up that tweet about 90 minutes later with this nugget. In honor of Boston and New England, may we suggest whole grain cranberry scones? Oh, thank God for Epicurious. After all, when tragedy strikes, who else is going to come to the rescue with a superb scone recipe? Thanks for sharing and caring, Epicurious. Unfortunately for Epicurious, it seems the Twitterverse didn't appreciate the Boston-themed breakfast suggestions. Inundated with angry reactions, Epicurious deleted its asinine tweets and served up an apology instead. But the question arises, what the hell were the people behind Epicurious thinking, if indeed they were thinking at all? How could any marketing manager with even a scintilla of common sense or empathy possibly come to the outrageous conclusion that the carnage incurred at a marathon would be an ideal way to whet the appetites of culinarians looking for trendy breakfast ideas? Now, aside from the Twitter trolls and the marketing morons, there was also, of course, the slacktivist contingent weighing in. You know the type, folks, those people who feel they're doing the world a favor by going on a Facebook page or website and leaving behind pithy prose along the lines of Boston Marathon bumming is a real bummer, Whoever did this sucks. Gee, thanks for the contribution, but you know, it probably would have been best for all concerned if you just grieved in silence while cutting a check to a charitable cause. Bottom line, welcome to our brave new online world, folks, in which anonymity breeds vulgarity and irresponsibility. And that's the Menzoid monologue.